Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Homestuck. This is a fucking nightmare.
Agreed.
Come to hell.
Alright, now we cue the last time on Homestuck, whatever this is.
Yeah, I probably actually am going to do that.
Yeah, that'd probably be a good idea.
Alright, let's do this one first.
So was that a tattoo of a chessboard on their wrist?
Oh, it's the scanner.
He's had that this entire time.
Yeah, I've just been blind.
All the Carefree scenes have one.
Oh, menacing.
Okay.
Yo, holy shit.
No, not WV.
Alright, we're gonna leave this one to last so we can figure out who's gonna do that. This one.
Wait a second, I was chewing a piece of ice. I am piloting the moon through the farthest ring right now. At the moment, it's passing through a dream bubble. I am visiting your dream in person. Or you are the one visiting me as I travel in your sleep. If you'd rather look at it that way.
Okay, so all those questions you asked me, getting me to remember, you were just stalling me, weren't you? So I wouldn't wake up and try to stop you.
Not entirely.
This sucks. Could you just please turn the thing around and come back?
Why? I'm already out here. Might as well go through with it.
We agreed I'd do it, though. Or at least you pretended to agree, just before going into a Major League wind-up with your nap yarn. Hello?
Sorry, I've lost where we were. Okay, I got it. A Major League wind-up?
It's sports.
It's always been pretty sad that I seem to know more about sports than you, which is really saying something.
All I'm saying is, no one likes a basketball hog.
It's probably just ball hog.
I just think you should know that in the athletic arena of competitive achievement, it's a widely known fact that cherry-picking posers get showered in nothing but booze. You don't gank the Rock and steal the big man's thunder on his raucous drive to the hole.
Oh, Lord.
Is that the sort of ignominy you want? See, you didn't consider sports. You never consider the sports.
The last thing I want to do is come between a big man's thunder and any particular hole he might prize.
And yet, such has been what's happened. It's like the tight end was going long down the yard in sudden death. It's me, I'm the tight end, and the quarterback sniped the field goal just before the NFL buzzer went off. The greedy quarterback is you.
That's not even close to being a thing in football.
But instead of winning the gold sports prize, you just fucking die and nobody cares and it didn't mean anything.
Which prize is that?
The football prize.
You mean the most... What?
Vaunted.
Okay, that's what I thought it was. You mean the most vaunted accolade associated with the gritty iron known as Stanley's Cup?
No, come on. It's called the Bruce Bombardi Trophy or something for Best Pile Squad.
I'll take your word for it.
Even though you're dead, all these fat millionaires in helmets just leap on your corpse anyway and pile up, and I mean way up.
How high do they even have to be?
The sport pile doesn't stop from getting taller.
Does the officiator have a means of measurement on hand? I wouldn't want to be crushed by a non-regulation sports pile.
What do you care? You'll be dead like the mission-thieving poser you are.
Poser? So not cool.
Yes, poser. It should be my torso getting pulverized by that avalanche of overpaid beefcakes, and you know it.
I forgot what we were doing exactly. Were we pursuing the Hackneyed debate over who had the best claim to self-sacrifice, or seeing who could out-dumbass the other with obtuse sports lingo?
There obviously stopped being a difference between those things. The question's offensive. Almost as offensive as you stalling me while you peel out of here in your dumb moon.
I'm the one stalling? The moon is probably just a speck in the sky now due to your strange beefcake hammering.
Yeah, but I don't know how to wake back up is the thing. How do I wake back up?
I guess I could wake back you up if you really want.
Okay, then do it.
But you have to promise to stay put. Don't try to stop me. Just let it go.
But this was my mission.
It really makes no sense for you to go. This was never your preoccupation. They selected me a long time ago.
That doesn't make sense. Why would they drag me into it just to have me make a map and then let you ditch me? They've obviously been gunning for me, too.
Yes, they helped you chart a path through the ring, and they will open that path for a pilot they have marked. I believe I fit the description. I'm not sure about you.
Why do you think that?
I am the pilot. That's all there is to say on the matter.
But I don't want you to die.
Help John and Jade.
This isn't right.
Then I'm not going to help you wake up. I'll stall some more.
So you admit you were stalling with all that bullshit.
I said not entirely.
What do you mean?
It's going to be a long ride through all this nothingness. Maybe I just thought some company would be nice before it's all over. So what'll it be?
What?
I'll wake you, but only if you promise to rejoin the others. Could you give a message to John for me?
Sure, but if I'm promising not to chase you down, then there's not really any hurry to wake up.
Are you sure? I was looking forward to pulling another wicked googly with the yarn. Sports ways.
Now I'll stay asleep a while.
Okay.
What did you want me to tell John?
What was that?
What?
Did you hear something?
No, what?
I thought I heard something outside.
Who's this douchebag? I mean, bag. I'm stuttering. This dude's making me nervous.
I don't remember him.
No.
And I guess this isn't a memory.
So he's actually here with us on the moon.
Not with us. Just me. You're still on Durst, remember?
I guess that's one way to do it.
Fair.
Light glasses look up.
This one.
Okay, give me a second. I remember now. I was tricked by a troll into flying up to the last gate using this rocket pack. She said I could take a shortcut and go kill my denizen while he was sleeping. It did not quite work out that way.
This sounds like Teresa's handiwork.
I don't know. She didn't tell me her name. She was a blind troll. She made me this incredibly shitty map for me to follow.
Yep, that's her. I guess she got both of us then. Unbelievable.
She tricked you too?
Yes. Well, not tricked, so much as made a pointless coin flip and stabbed me in the back.
Wow, that's pretty cold-blooded.
Oh, sure. She was easily the most underhanded and villainous member of our group. But I did let my guard down, and even when she stabbed me, I sure didn't think I was going to die.
Why not?
It turns out immortality isn't all that it's cracked up to be. Let's just leave it at that.
So I guess you never got around to giving me immortality, like you said, or killing me for that matter. It sounds like the blind troll beat you to it.
I did, but this would be hard to explain to you.
Like what?
I guess in her own sick way, she actually set us up on this date together. Maybe I should thank her whenever she falls asleep or dies, God forbid.
So now it is a date?
I don't know. I said it wouldn't be unless you remembered, and now you remember, but you still don't remember me, do you?
Nope.
Yeah, I thought so. This version of you died before I started messing with you. Not that I expect you to understand what that means.
No, I get that. If I had decided not to take that shortcut, I would have lived, and then you would have talked to me a lot.
Yeah, that's right. I guess I should have learned to give you more credit by now.
Well, I might not have figured that out if not for some things that just happened.
I still can't believe I'm meeting a version of you that doesn't remember a thing about me. None of my great exploits or any other ways I helped you, only the one stupid time I taunted you. It's a vaguely frustrating feeling.
Sorry, not sure what to tell you.
So you remember. Literally nothing I told you about myself, not even the compromising stuff.
Well, you did just show me around your planet, which was really cool. There's compromising stuff?
Your species would think so, but I guess it doesn't matter anymore.
I guess not. But who says that we can't get to know each other again?
You wouldn't find that boring.
No way, not if you wouldn't. You said the name of the blind troll who killed us, but you have not told me yours yet.
I haven't?
No.
It's Friska.
Nice to meet you, Vriska. I am John, even though you know that.
Yes.
So, now what do we do, aside from be dead for probably ever?
Man, I don't know. Maybe you could tell me about how you died? What were the things that just happened you were talking about? I don't remember how to do her voice.
It's fine.
Well, like I said, I flew up to the last gate like this. Oh, nice boots.
Yay.
I gotta run for a quick. It brought me inside the palace. It was huge, and it took a long time to explore. It was eerily empty, too. I had that weird feeling of getting to a place in a video game you're not supposed to be yet because you don't have the right power ups and such. You know what I mean?
Not really. I'm used to taking shortcuts whenever I play games.
Oh, okay. So I started getting crazy nervous the longer I was down here. I was starting to wonder if my silly iron pogo hammer would even do any damage against the monster.
I can't snort. I don't know how to do that on command.
What?
What? Don't worry about it. Just
No, I'm just saying what. Like, it's in the next line.
It's literally
Oh,
the next line.
right. Brain fart. It's been a long day.
we're just gonna move on, I think.
Against the denizen? Of course, that piece of shit isn't going to do anything. If I were you, I would have chucked it into the forge.
Excuse me, it is called the Wrinkle Fucker, and it is totally amazing.
It might be alright if you combined it with something awesome, like some cool dice, for instance.
That's so absurd. Like, anything like that would ever even happen.
What's that?
I found it very deep in the palace dungeon. I was wandering for hours, following a horrible sound through the pipes. I could tell Typheus was really close because it was very loud here. It could only be the sound of him sleeping. I was so tempted to play it, but I didn't want to dare risk waking him up. Pretty much by then, I was sweating bullets at the thought of confronting him.
You are right to be nervous. Denizens are incredibly powerful monsters. You had no chance whatsoever at this stage of the game. I might have stood a chance after I started helping you, but Terezi really screwed you over by leading you here so early.
Yeah, I guess if I ever see her, I should thank her too.
Why?
Because this was important.
What was? Getting killed by a monster?
Well, yes, but not just that. The whole ruse was important. If I didn't make the decision to go, then Dave would not be able to go back in time and fix things. In fact, if I didn't die here in this palace, you never would have been born in the first place.
How could you know all that?
This way. This denizen
This-
does not. Oh, sorry.
That's Vriska.
This denizen does not look asleep to me.
Nope. He was wide awake when I found him. I practically crapped my pants.
Well, that explains your quick death. If your denizen was anything like mine, it wouldn't have wasted much time before unleashing a huge shitstorm of devastating monster magic.
What was your denizen like?
Her name was Cetus. She was this awful sea monster. Her lair was deep underground amidst a bunch of shipwrecks. She was quite vicious and territorial. I know I had to kill her quickly to release the horde before she had the chance to do anything tricky.
What do you mean tricky? Did she talk to you?
Oh, of course. She was blabbing in riddles throughout most of the fight. I wasn't paying much attention though. I mean, what creature doesn't speak in boring riddles in this game?
No, is that what you all did? Kill your denizens as fast as possible without listening to them?
Yeah, pretty much. We were all pretty good players, remember?
Yes, so I've heard.
Well, okay, I can't exactly speak for everyone. There was a lot going on, and I don't know how some people went about beating their denizens. For instance, I'm not sure how our hero of breath did it. Maybe the monster just released the horde for him out of pity?
Maybe he just talked to his denizen.
There was a way to avoid a tough battle. I'm sure he found it. It sounds like a good way to cheat yourself out of a lot of sweet XP and loot, though.
I don't know, you might be surprised.
John, are you saying you had a nice friendly chat with this hideous, bloodthirsty creature before he killed you?
Yes, Typhoeus may not be pretty to look at, but he is not a bad guy at all.
Fine. Okay, who is doing this one?
Not it.
Not it.
I can do it.
I don't know. It doesn't really matter to me.
Time to flip a coin. Heads or tails?
Heads. I don't know which one would be which though. I don't know what the favorable outcome really is.
Joke's on you, it's a double-sided coin, and you said heads.
It's tails. I'll read it.
Double-sided troll Kagar.
I'm blind! Eureka! Stand by for the clarification. Enthusiastic outburst. Yes. It is hope for beyond hope. Unusual devices may be used to duplicate fresh, perfectly pressed garments. Inexhaustibly. What is it?
As far
Sorry,
as I
pixels.
know.
Okay. The pixels are making it look weird. Oh, shoot.
Don't you have the book in front of you?
I don't have the book in front of me. Reconstructing complete professional ensemble now hold. Pleased to report restoration of dapper Viziaz an overwhelming success. Alas, devices appear to hold no such promise for departed family members. Misplaced handheld steam press. Update on device utility. Combinative apparel synthesis presents intriguing possibilities. Now combining expensive leather pipe tobacco sleeve with handsome gray fedora. To document result totally. Resulted in hat with outlandish and frivolous appearance. Do not care for. Shall discard immediately. Combination of pant, fine cotton shirt, even more disappointing. Yielded useless. Excessively? I got excited. Excessively tall pant. Relieving from wardrobe at once. Made unwelcome determination. Production requires expense of glittering abstractions called grist. Such jewels remain in cache, liberation and reserve at premium. Consumed final swallow of carefully rationed. Excuse me.
Now I see why you were fine with reading this character.
Sorry, I just caught off guard there. Consumed final swallow of carefully rationed urine. Soon to seek water elsewhere, in exotic new surroundings. More importantly, to seek grist, facilitating continued accessorizing. Note to self, use spoils to make more hats. Preparing for expedition to reap gems from mischievous local fauna. Crafted sturdy bludgeoning instrument out of uprooted mailbox. Tall pant, perhaps adaptable as defensive garment. Pardon well donning tall pant. Donned tall pant. Confidence in martial prowess, perplexing swells. Venturing out. Powering down gray, serviceable, handheld computing device to preserve battery. Additional updates to be submitted in a frank and forthright manner for judicious appraisal within a reasonable time frame. Tia for patience. Ooh, there's another one. Okay. Turning on handheld device for brief report.
Well, I mean,
Spirit-
this one's Caden.
Oh god, what accent am I supposed to use for this one?
It's Nana Sprite, so if you remember what you did there.
Nope.
Turning on handheld device for brief report. Severe injury sustained in skirmish with undersized sportive rascal. Tall pant, unremarkable in protective utility. Damaged, badly bloodied. No indication of laundering facilities throughout Enchanted Land whatsoever. Losing fluid rapidly. Maintaining adequate hydration levels more important than ever. Liberations, unfortunately, not for rest needed. Seeking surface sustainable for assuming reclined posture. Strength depleting. Tie loosened. Removed. Rolled up neatly and tucked with pad. Minimal stamina left. Disrobing. Sodden tall pant. Leaving on. Encountered rest surface. Horizontal stone slab. Exhibiting unidentified iconography. A tall post at each corner. Mysteriously inviting. Mounting slab. Exhaustion taking hold.
Yo, this random asshole just found his quest. This man's about to get god tier before.
Alright, excuse me, sir.
At Pipefan 413. Friend. At Pipefan 413. Sound of voice nearly refreshing. Enough to distract from perpetual taste of warm, poorly filtered urine.
Oh my. No, I'm not actually your friend, dear. I am his mother.
That's a laugh.
Yeah, I can't do a laugh with that voice.
I'm gonna be honest. That was not what you were doing.
Yeah. No,
I don't even think you really did a voice. Like
I don't think I did. That was me trying to do her voice, but it's not that good. So I'm just gonna not do it.
Another of at Pipefan 413's legendary pranks. Please clarify. If, why, pretend to regard as hilarious.
Or that it was. I'm sorry to say there is no canary in play at all today. Though yes, that would be quite the doozy. I believe the late great Colonial would surely say we were cooking with petrol upon hearing such a whopper. No, I'm just an old woman looking for her son.
Understood, madam.
You remind me of him, no? Would you mind terribly if I talked to you for a little while? I am fearing the worst for my son, while my grandson has gone off to do great things. I've caught myself feeling a bit lonely. Oh, that's... I don't...
Can't imagine no greater pleasure. Though, eyelids heavy. Getting dark. feeling in extremities, fading.
Oh, but you must be exhausted from your travels. You poor thing. Why don't you just lie there and rest? I'll tell you a story.
At Fan for 13. Kindly mother. Thank you.
It is a fairy tale about a young sister and brothers who were raised by a wicked witch. Wait a
Lore.
second.
Lore.
What is this? Do we have to read this story? Is it?
I am very certain that this is actually going to be important.
All right, let me turn my fan on. I'll get my reading glasses out.
How long is this actually? Battery has died.
Oh shit! There it goes.
Betty Crocker.
All right. Thank God I'm not doing that voice.
Finds of the old batter.
The witch, in truth, was a world-famous baking baroness. Her cruelty made life miserable for the two children who did not have their father anymore to protect them. He was the greatest prankster who ever lived, and a true Southern gentleman. He was killed by a comet on the day the boy was born. And the wicked baroness raised them along with a hand as firm as that which she ran her brutal baking empire. The children pledged to each other that one day they would run away. They followed in the footsteps of the dear colonial in defiance of the old batterer. They studied his every jate and practiced them in secret. But as they grew older, their interests differed and apart. Boy developed a passion for adventure and putting aside his study of practical jokes, he dreamed of wealth and fame and discovery and swore he would wander the world. One day he decided to run away with the loyal dog he inherited from their father. He asked the girl if she would come along, but she was too scared of the retribution that might follow. The boy scoffed at the danger and assured his sister there was nothing to worry about, but he had not seen firsthand what the Baroness was capable of. He told his sister that he believed in her and that she could handle whatever the witch could throw at her. And with that, he was off, and she would never see him again. The Baroness would raise her very strictly, mentoring her in the art of baking. The girl took the lessons with fierce determination. Her only active defiance left was to one day surpass the Baroness in skill and beat her at her own game. It was all she could do, for the Baroness made sure she knew there could be no escape. The girl truly missed her brother, and soon enough he achieved fame for his exploits. She followed him in the newspaper, the tales of his remarkable discoveries, inventions, and riches. How she wished she could rejoin him and be free from toiling for the pastry hag. One day the girl was able to gather enough bravery to mention her brother to the Baroness, and her desire to see him again. With contempt, she guaranteed that this could never happen. When the girl asked why, that is when the Baroness began to reveal to her more than just her baking secrets. She mentioned that, like many fairy tales, there was more to the children's past than they knew. The colonel was not their father, nor was the Baroness their mother. They, in fact, had no father or mother at all, or they ever actually born, and they had but fallen from the sky. They were not actually brother and sister as they had been told either. Again, like in many fairy tales, the truth was that they were always destined to become married one day. They were to have two children, a son and a daughter, and these children were meant to save the world. But the Batter Witch was determined to make sure this destiny would never be realized. In her limitless cruelty, she would do all in her power to keep them apart from the rest of their lives. The girl that day swore she would bring down the Baroness and her evil empire. She would use the many secrets she'd learned over the years against her, being carefully plotting her downfall. Years went by. The girl was nearly ready to put her plan into action, but then, just like that, the Baroness disappeared. She was never seen or heard from again. The girl was finally free by a strange turn of events, but not without a final jab from the witch. It turned out that, in her will, she had left the entire company to the boy. The boy, now a grown man, was already very wealthy in his own right. He had no particular need for baking empire, but assumed control nonetheless. Integrated the company into his extensive collection of enterprises. The girl, instead of seeing this as more misfortune, took the news as relief. He'd just as soon have nothing to do with the witch's empire, and far preferred to pursue her original passion, practical jeopardy. uh, she considered a reunion with her estranged brother and once destined husband to be. The days of longing for a future with him seemed to be from another lifetime. The chance had come and gone. She was content to let him live his increasingly elaborate life, while she saw a simpler one. Besides, now was not the time to revisit a destiny with an old star-crossed lover. She had recently become betrothed to a fine, upstanding gentleman. Soon she would start a family. No, not one meant for heroism, as foretold, but one that would make her happy nonetheless. In following years, she was left to ponder all that might have been. What might have been if there had been no Baroness to keep the girl and boy apart? What might have been if the Baroness had not disappeared and she had the opportunity to use her secrets against her? For you see, the girl had uncovered so many dirty secrets about the terrible Banner Witch, including the most troubling one of all. Of course, no one would believe her, but she knew. She knew the Baroness was not human.
Fedora Freak's gray, serviceable handheld computing device's battery has died. To make the subtext supertext, the Baroness is Betty Crocker.
Yeah,
Yeah, that seems about right.
and I think I know who the girl and the boy were.
I do wonder.
Yeah.
Who could they possibly be?
Characters we haven't been introduced to yet.
I mean, kinda. I busted into his palace to finish the quest. I was expecting him to be asleep and was gonna figure out some way to wake him up, but, like, last time I saw him, he was already awake to greet me.
But I thought the denizen was supposed to be asleep. At least until you do the right things on your quest.
They are. As sprites, we're programmed to know things like that about the game, but I guess not everything. Seems like we try to go fight them too soon, you find them awake, and they're like, what the fuck are you doing here already? Which is what happened last time I saw him before I became a sprite, and I stupidly tried to fight him, which was a bad idea because he's hella strong. And the whole time he was raving about shit about a golden sword and missing forge, but I wasn't really listening. If I had, I might have understood. He wasn't actually trying to kill me, he was giving me the choice.
What choice?
Wait, I mean, the choice. I always forget I can talk underlined for important shit.
What did you choose?
I guess I made an unwitting choice by deciding to flee. I figured he was unbeatable, so I decided to get the fuck out of there. So I snapped a quick captcha to get his huge hammer's code and then GTFO.
What happened when you saw him this time?
Like I said, he was awake again, but this time I wasn't in any condition to fight, so I didn't. And that's what I didn't get. He's this terrible, angry, monstrous guy, but there's no need to fight him. So he looked me up and down all hard, saw the broken sword, and, like before, gave me the choice.
You mean choice. Whoops.
Yeah.
So it was the same choice?
No. It was different. I think it must be always different, depending on the circumstances. I don't know what the choice is when you face him the way you're supposed to, but I'm showing up as this bleeding bird sprite holding his broken sword, so that's a pretty odd situation.
Then what did he make you decide?
He sees I got his sword and it's busted, and you can tell he's pissed. But like before it's like restrained anger, like he's always about to just fucking flip, but still keeps it together. So he can tell me he can repair it and make the Derringer with the forge lit. He says he can repair anything, but only one thing, and I had to choose. So I said, okay, fix the sword.
As opposed to what?
Meh, doesn't matter really. Just thought making the sword felt like the right thing.
Oh.
So I gave him the sword, but it still wasn't all that simple. He needed lava from the forge to make it, which means Echidna had to be awake. Our denizens had to have some kind of truce to make it happen. See what I mean about it being complicated?
Yeah.
So Jade must have done something right to wake her up and get the forge going. Don't know what she did, though.
Probably something amazing. She is still working so hard to help everyone. I guess I used to be that way, but I've completely forgotten.
Are you sure?
What's happening?
Reckoning. It's getting close to the end. More meteors are getting by the portals. The battlefield will probably be wiped out soon.
Can we do something to stop it?
Would there be a point?
I don't know. I like it here though. I felt like I was drawn to come here when I went. When I wasn't sure where to go.
Yeah, me too.
Meteors and all the fire. It reminds me of when I died and I was trying to wake John up. I was scared then too, but I didn't let the fear stop me from trying to save him.
What would you want to do if you weren't scared?
I have no idea. I guess try to help? What is there to do?
Well, I was gonna bring the sword to Dave.
Oh no, does that mean you're going to leave?
No, I was gonna say, I'm not in any shape for more adventuring. Figure this is probably my last stop. But maybe this is a way you can help.
You mean that I should give him the sword?
If you want.
But I don't want to leave you here either.
Maybe you don't have to actually go anywhere. You ought to have a lot of special powers, remember? Because of ascending to doghood.
Oh yeah!
Try doing your spacey thing. I mean, not to sound condescending or anything, but it's gotta be like borderline omnipotence pretty much. Just put your mind to it.
Alright, I will try.
Last one for this page.
Guys, it feels like we're making no progress.
Yeah.
What the hell are you doing now?
EW.
Seriously, why did you go back to see her? You didn't mention this last time.
Listen, fuck ass. I'm going to need a password before we continue, please.
Right, okay. Let's see if I can remember. It was pretty elaborate if I recall. Okay, here goes. I'm a disgusting, worthless bilge sack on the gargantuan teat of a laboring, leprous muscle beast. My self-esteem is so small, its existence is a matter of conjecture among theoretical physicists. I smell so bad, the stench can't be expressed with even the most eloquent, florid language. The odor my body makes has made poets cry. I have won special awards for discovering new places to touch myself erotically while farting. I unfairly pulverized the competition in asshole pageants, and I have received a lifetime ban from ugly contests by President Shitface himself. My blood is not fit to flow through a sewer, and my sign is a pictographic symbol that loosely translates as please hike these pants up to this guy's armpits, chain him to a flogging jet, and make a fucking example out of this sorry sack of shit. When I look in a mirror, my reflection slowly shakes his head while I wet myself in shame. What? That was it, wasn't it? How was that not fucking it? Did I forget an apostrophe somewhere?
No, Carcat, that was not quite the password. But you were on the right track.
Can we just talk now?
Do you even remember the right password?
Something along the lines of gratuitous self-deprecation forced into my mouth involving references to some kind of weird human coupling ritual.
You're being deliberately dumb. It was, if I hate myself so much, then why don't I hate myself and hate marry myself? Remember? I was just using the password system to poke a little fun at you, and you turn into this whole overdramatic thing. Jeez.
Ha ha! Can we get down to fucking business again?
I wonder if we will ever be able to start a conversation without having a ridiculous argument about the password system.
If you had dropped the password system and let future me talk to you, he might be able to give you an answer. Spoiler, the answer would be no, because the passwords are stupid.
Why don't we want to do that? The only guy who's dumber than past Carcat is future Carcat and vice versa. I have this on good authority from both sources.
I still think your use of the terms is kind of asinine. There really is no past or future Carcat from your view. There's Carcat who knows less stuff and Carcat who knows more stuff. Why not just gather the facts from the one who's got the lowdown already? I mean, I do it myself, but I can't stand the guy.
You see, this is your problem. Okay, one of your many problems. You have no patience to do things the right way. You're always just looking for the shortcut. Even if doing so has brought you nothing but trouble 100 times before. It is sort of funny that the only thing standing in your way is one of your other problems. Your posturous self-loathing, so you can't even trust your future self to help you cheat. It's like you have so many problems to cancel each other out.
That's not the only thing standing in my way. Your stupid passwords are also standing in my way. If not for that, I could be fast-tracking this to Solution City for us both.
Exactly.
Okay, whatever. Let's just get on with this linear conversation, okay?
Okay.
So you gave me that silly password and we ended our conversation a few minutes ago from my end. And I scanned ahead looking for a good moment on your timeline to pick it up again, and I noticed you went back to see her again for some reason.
Yes.
So I'm just wondering why? What happened to the frog breeding? I thought we were on a roll with that.
Yes, we still are. This little detour was related to that task. We should be nearly done.
What was she even saying to you? I can't understand a word of that horrifying gibberish.
I can understand her just fine.
I still don't really get it. Why my denizen was such a nightmare, while yours apparently gives you guttural pep talks in some Byzantine monster language.
We already talked about this. Yeah.
You should know this. You watched ReZero, didn't you?
Not very far.
Okay. It's Echidna, like Knuckles.
Okay. Echidna and I have an understanding now.
Ooh, vague bullshit. It's the exact fucking thing I can't get enough of.
Well, maybe if you were in such a grumpy hurry all the time, you wouldn't have killed your denizen so quickly. You might have actually learned something.
Huge, ugly monsters are for killing. Period.
Did you ever talk to Kanaya about it?
I don't remember. Maybe. I'm a busy guy, Jade. I talk to a lot of people about a lot of stuff, including myself.
Her situation was very similar to mine.
I thought she killed her denizen to light the forge or something.
It doesn't sound like you got the whole story, or maybe you just weren't listening to her.
Well, I sure don't think it was whatever you did. And in any case, I thought all that was over with. Why are you back? What does this have to do with frog breeding?
This was Kanaya's suggestion.
Kanaya's still helping you?
Yes, I'm talking to her right now, actually.
Oh, I see her across the room. She's not talking to anyone on a computer right now.
Of course not. She's from a different time than you, genius.
Which time?
A few hours in your future.
Ah, I see how it is. You won't talk to Future Karkat until I jump through your fucking password hoops and become him eventually, but you'll talk to Future Kanaya just like that. Double standard, anybody? Jade says yes, please.
You're so ridiculous. I have Kanaya using the same password system as you. She's just a little further ahead on my timeline is all. Can I English, please? It's been pretty hard to keep you both synced up.
I thought you didn't want shit spoiled from the future, though.
Yeah, from my future. I don't want you guys telling me the things I do before I do them because you talk to future me. But knowing a few things about your future doesn't really matter. Not that I'm going to tell you any of it, so don't ask.
I think I'm on the verge of becoming a religious person. I just don't know where else to turn to remove the awesome suffering the Trollian's temporal chap bullshit miraculously continues to inflict on me. Maybe the mirthful messiahs will come and take my pain away? Oh yes, that sounds heavenly. Jade, please excuse me while I go paint my face to outwardly reflect the beauty of my inner awakening and drub my think pen mercilessly to reduce my intelligence to the level necessary to sustain these beliefs.
What are you even talking about?
Are we almost done crafting this master plan? I have stuff to attend to here, my team is falling apart, and I can't find Gamzee anywhere. I'm worried he might have wandered off somewhere and got hurt.
Oh, well, you'll find him.
I thought you weren't telling me about my future.
I know, I made an exception, but only one.
Let's move this along. Just update me on the frogs and give me a new password, okay?
Naya thinks we should all talk about this. She says you're important to consult on the matter. That you from her timeline is too busy.
Busy with what?
She's opening a memo.
Oh no.
No, not again.
No.
Dream bubbles plus memos.
I think with that we're done. I don't want to do any more of this.
Don't worry, one of these is just scratched. I didn't know Scratch lived in the back rooms. Oh, shut up.
The Felt Manor.
Hey, what are you doing out here?
Out where?
Out of your bubble.
Oh, I don't know. Am I not supposed to leave?
I just didn't think you could. I guess you must have a foot on either side. Can't say I'm surprised.
Okay. So what are you doing out here?
I'm waiting for friends to arrive. They'll need my help.
What friends? More ghosts?
No, they're alive. First, they'll be sea humans. They should be joining us any minute.
First? Then what?
But then rest of our party. Like survivors.
Oh. So then we made it out here alright?
Yes. Well, they made it. And your body will arrive with them. Along with the others. Hey, maybe we can have a funeral.
What's a funeral?
Kind of like a big corpse party. The humans could probably explain it better than me.
Okay, cool. Shit, it's so bright. How can you stand it here?
You can see the sun?
Yeah, I can see it, but it looks 2D.
Yeah, this one.
Just say Caden gets to decide on which character he wants to voice first.
Oh god, that's hard to annoying to read. Okay. If motherfucking magic's all we've ever known at, then it's easy to be missing what the fucking the haps. But I'm all. Can you highlight that, please?
Is
Purple
this
and black
it? Is
symbol
this
three.
the mythical worst wrap-off in the history of Paradox Space?
God. But I'm also open at miracles that are up in the air. Got my C on of miracles. They're here and they're there. I could check in the miracles while falling downstairs. Seeing the shit out of miracle that are all being up at. Basically, pretty much everywhere. Fuck. Oceans of Fago fucking glitter like space. A fistful of stardust. What's poop in my face? A million horns honking rackets and piles. A one-wheel device that can rock it in style. It's shit that what I wish for. Cause motherfucking chorus, bro. I'm all over believer at miracles. Do you have time for my miracles, brother? Or do you get your notice on of the miracles? So many fucking miracles, like magic motherfucking miracles. Honk.
Oh, oh yeah, that was so strict.
Yeah, bro.
Most definitely, your rhymes, they're ruthlessly disciplinary, and my here ducks have been naughty. I think they are naughty for more.
Motherfuck, dude. You best understand I got more
Slams.
slams in me. They be forever as my limitless faith in all my believings and shit. But what I motherfucking need, my brother, aside from plowing more fucking first into a bitchin' van of tenacious. I can't.
Don't worry, I don't think that's a real word.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's to check out what land you can stick in my ducts.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's most entirely can provided they can be dropped straight into the orifices. You what's that word? You scrolled too far. You mentioned.
Fucking drop it, bro. Drop it like you spaced out and forgot you were holding it. The first motherfucking place.
You brought up a pan, in that last stand, but the one I'm a fan of is the pan handled poop.
Yeah.
Yes, shit is a legit thing to say about it, about the pan with the man grit on whom I now slam it.
Slammed it like a fucking door by accident or something that hurts. Honk, 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 honk.
You can't handle my slams well, unless you can. In which case, that's cool. I just serve up the hoopla to goats' noses that are hoopless about the pan, who's called pupa. In the case you are clueless about the pan, who can man up and be able to stand up on legs unlike mine, which are functionally useless.
God damn, you are dealing some party reproach tonight. Flying fucking high, man. Higher than a assassin up on the motherfucking Greece trapeze. Ugh, I can't English. Higher than a subjugator getting his leap on for the fast honk I believe in to come.
Haha, I wish.
No, bro, I'm serious. Your rhymes are fit as the most wicked piece of shit and a miracle ever took in the sky. So someone clipped their motherfucking wings, so I stand a chance. Whoops, I mean, stood a chance. Fuck.
The only thing more fly than the rhymes I'm saying to express all my malices is the ability he had I wish was mine, instead of, I guess, the excessive paralysis.
Look out for the honk, bro. Get off those wheels. Get off those heel. Is that just heels again?
Yeah.
Okay. Like every time I go to read, it's like my screen, like whatever I'm seeing, just refreshes and it fucks over what I'm trying to read. If miracles aren't fake, he'll get off those wheels.
But high, in this case, has doubled the meaning. It means he can fly, plus does high self-esteeming. That's two things he has that I'd rather were mine. His two flappy wings and his big healthy spine. Oops. That's three things.
Get off those wheels. Get off those wheels. If miracles aren't fake, he'll get off those wheels.
Using my least useless foot to kick it back to you, friend.
Shit.
Slam it, like the door in the face of the culling drone. Let's pretend that I'm a real possibility and not invitation to an even more painful death, just for the sake of that expression.
I'm gonna highlight that so I can see it all that dying. Motherfuck it, motherfucker. Pure magic is all in there, be hatching of grubs. I seen shit that would suck your look tubs. I peeped on a place of 6 trillion memos, all up at one rock, leading us equal. It's easy to see if you search all you're feeling. That place happens first and murder's the sequel. It's the beauty of the carnival, the magic's intense. Fucking darkness outside, but the light makes you wince. Just take my motherfucking hand, bro. Put on your shades, pull back the flap, and get off those wheels.
Okay, I did. Now I'm on the floor, motionless, in a terrible way. So I got back on the wheels. It was a nice thought, though.
That's fuck motherfucking yeah. Let's take this ninja type of bitch back to the hive with chorus. Together, my miracle brother.
Yes.
I'm all a firm believer at the miracles.
Do you have time for my miracles, religious friend?
You get your notice of the miracles?
So many, gratuitous expletive miracles. The magic mother, also expletive miracles.
Fuck yes, here's where the slam turns on nothing but honks. Honk, 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 honk. Honk, 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 honk.
Honk.
Fuck.
It's less appropriate for me to do the honks than you, but that was still great.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
The slams were truly prime, and your religious views, though I don't share them, are reasonably inspirational. I think I'm in the process of realizing at least one tier.
Me too, bro. You motherfucking know there'd be some of my eyes royal jelly to go with your emotional peanut butter.
Whoa. Ha ha ha.
This is beautiful, dude. I feel so at chill with you.
Yeah, your friendliness with you. Pretty much always nice and fun to have.
Hey, when we up and start to kick at this red team noise. You should make your way to get your hang on at my hive.
Oh, yes, totally.
We could split a tin of the Tempest beans I got on hand, baked up all special for you, and then maybe make out a little.
Uh,
I okay.
Oh god, he's still following you? That is so messed up.
Yeah, it's okay though. As long as he is tailing me like a lost puppy, at least he's not trying. He's not killing anybody.
Don't trust him, Jade. I'm telling you, he's a stab-happy, planet-exploding asshole. Remember what he did to Dave? It was like this whole episode. You had a hysterical episode about it, remember?
I remember the episode, but he's okay now. And I'm kind of starting to think that that was just his way of saying hi. My dog used to fetch my bullets too, but I think he believes he is my dog on some level.
Just don't turn your back on him, Jade. Don't turn your back on the puppy.
Don't worry, I'm keeping my eye on him. No. Bad, Jeff, bad. What?
He really seems to hate frogs.
Yeah, the poor frogs.
My Jack had this irrational thing against frogs too. I mean, my normal Jack, not bastard-ass omnipotent Jack. That is Kanaya.
Okay, wait, when did Kanaya get in?
We're
on
in a
this
memo, I
conversation?
guess.
Okay,
Yeah, we are.
Durst agents are heavily predisposed toward the murder and desecration of amphibious life forms and their iconography, respectively. Frequently, I had to thwart assassination attempts from their kingdom, or extermination attempts is probably better to say.
You're probably right. They really seem to drive him crazy. This is not the first time I've had to reprimand him.
Wait, did he follow you into the palace too just now? Is that who you were yelling at?
I was growling at Ekna, and I had to tell him he was being very bad. It shorts some of her really nice statues too. Keeping him in line really makes me miss Beck. He was such a good dog. Not to mention a best friend. Jack is just
Bad dog, worst enemy.
exactly.
I don't like this a fucking bit. It makes me really nervous. You just chilling with an unspeakably powerful mass murderer with the brain of a wild animal who's about to have sessions try to kill all of us in a few hours. What were you even doing there again? You still haven't told me.
Huh?
The palace.
I recommend she return to her denizen for advice.
About what?
The location of the final frog required to complete the gene sequence. One whose song should remove the last traces of dissonance from the waveform. The creature is quite elusive, remember?
Oh yeah, you were searching for weeks.
Yes.
And you never found it.
I had a good lead, but you decided there was not enough time left to bother with it.
The reckoning had started. We had to kill the king.
Understood, but this was a matter that really did require your attention.
Yeah, I know. But maybe I was sick to fucking death of muddling around with frogs and their cacophonous goddamn ribbits and mixing their slime and shit. I'm not an ectoscientist no matter how many grubs who turned out to be us the game made me accidentally make.
But you are a programmer, aren't you? It's at least kind of like being a scientist, having some technical savvy.
I was a shitty programmer. And anyway, I only programmed viruses. Shitty viruses. Shouldn't have to be a slime technician or a frog farmer or mystical fucking croak decoder. I'm a warrior and a leader and a cold-blooded killer.
We know. What happened to her?
I have no idea.
We know. You are clearly very good at being all of those things. But now we need your help with frog science. Can you help us?
How long will this take? I don't mind helping, but I have major leadership duties to attend to here.
Yes, I know the team is falling apart and everything, but doing this was your duty too. And after a point of critical complication, there is only so much responsibility you can take for the actions of your team.
Kanaya, what are you saying? What happens in the future? Are you giving me some assurance that things will work out? Because right now, I don't know where the hell anybody is.
The future. Okay, I'm a vampire now, apparently, if that helps.
What the fuck is a vampire?
Good. No future talk, but stay on topic.
Oh my god, why can't I get a straight fucking answer to a thing? It's a simple question.
I mean, she's a very pretty girl with pointy fangs who has a bright, sunny complexion and wears fancy dresses.
Thanks, that cleared everything just right the hell up.
And she drinks blood.
Oh, you mean a rainbow drinker? Yeah, I already know about her trashy novel fantasies. Are we done shitting around?
They aren't trashy.
Yes, hilarious. I guess I have no choice but to believe you, because skepticism in this situation is for idiots, right? If I said, yeah, right, if there's a drinker in this hive, I'll eat my cocoon, I'd be like the dumb Lucis in the movie who doesn't believe the kid when he tells it there's a rainbow drinker in the closet. So I guess by reverse psychology, I should not be that dumbass. Yell, oh fuck, and tell everyone to get in the scuttle buggy before it's too late. Well, fat chance I'm not falling for it.
That sounds like a stupid movie.
How do you know what she looks like anyway? Did you see her in one of your afterlife bubbles?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, sorry. I'm there.
Why? When?
Carcat? That information qualifies as future stuff.
Just, I don't know anymore. Shit is getting away from me. The more time goes by without word from Gamzee, the more I worry. The more I feel like something terrible has happened. Or will happen. I should go.
No, wait. Just please listen a little longer.
Yes, staying would be better. Trust me, that this was and still is a very important thing for you to have done. Yeah, for you to have done and still do. Maybe even the most important.
Fine, but let's move it along. Did Echidna tell you where to find this frog?
Not exactly. She just helped me remember.
Remember what?
Something from my past, if I accepted her terms.
What were her terms? You never did tell me.
Yeah, because you never told me yours.
Oh, I just thought it wasn't that important or interesting, since Carcat thought the battle was more pressing than to wait for me to locate another frog. Also, what she asked me to do was impossible, so yeah.
Yeah, she made me promise to do something that sounds possible too. Except, I actually agreed. I have no idea how I'm going to keep my side of the bargain now that I think about it.
Excuse me, remember fucking what?
Oh, right! Where the last frog is, or was. The thing is, the frog we need is nowhere to be found in the modem. It was on Earth. But only very briefly. It was when I was young. Before I woke up on Prospect, I had begun sleepwalking, both on the island and on the moon. And in my dream, it was very bright. I saw something in the light. I couldn't tell what it was until I got closer. But before I got there, I woke up and I found myself by the lagoon surrounding the ruins. I was about to walk home when I saw something appear on the lily pad. It was a frog. An amazing shiny frog, not like any other I've seen in the lagoon. It hopped over to me and I picked it up, but then, just like that, it died. Later, my grandpa made a robot for me to help me with my sleepwalking. It could do all the walking while I stayed safe in bed. It could also record my dreams. I'm sure he always knew my dreams were going to be special. I suspect he knew before I was even born.
Okay, great. So it's there on the monitor. Problem solved. Just to purify its ghost imprint, mix it with your current evolution's paradox slime, smooth out the genetic waveform, tadpolify bilious slick, and you're done.
Hopefully.
So you didn't remember seeing this frog when you were a kid at all?
No, it completely slipped my mind.
How did she get you to remember? I mean, what did she make you agree to?
Well, like it was before, the choice she gives you seems to have to do with facing mortality, making it clear if you choose one path over another, it will lead to your death, and that your death may even be necessary to accomplish your goal.
Yes, I've inferred their ultimata are all personalized variations on the presentation of such dilemmas.
Yeah, but That's not really what made this hard. I mean, nobody wants to die, of course, but at least that is a clear thing. You either do, you don't. You know,
You said what she asked was impossible.
it might be.
Were her demands.
She said that if I accept her help, that I would have to make a promise that whenever we left this place and wherever we end up going, she had to come.
Huh?
Not like it. I can put all the denizens, their palaces, their consorts, their lands, everything. I have to bring them all with us. Please, no more. No!
If it makes you feel better, there is literally one on this page.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
God.
kind of nice, and I think it's just a joke one. Hopefully, or no, it's
Jade, are you still responding to this memo? I guess I don't have much energy left to argue about passwords. I didn't even get a password last time. I had to leave abruptly because Solix and Aridin started dueling again. Then Pfeffery and Kanaya. It's all happened so fast. Now Gamzee is hunting us all down in murder mode. He's been taunting me through other people's messaging devices and leaving me disturbing notes. I'm sure others must be dead by now. Now Solix is blind. I lost track of him somehow. I heard a stray honk and I ran and we got separated. I'm starting to think that this must be a doomed timeline. That's why I can't get in touch with anyone. They must be dropping like behemoth leavings out there. And that must be why future Kanaya was talking in this memo. But now she's dead, which makes that impossible. It wasn't supposed to happen this way. Gamzee isn't supposed to go crazy. I think if he does, it means we fucked something up. It means I fucked something up. He's my responsibility. I have to make sure he's safe, and I didn't do that. One time, one of the doomed Aradias told me she came from a time where he flipped out and killed everybody because of my failure. I didn't take her seriously, but I should have. She was constantly fixing my fuck-ups. Robots from the future always coming back to tell me how some hasty shit I did with frog breeding or whatever would make it impossible to win. My own personal mistakes probably accounted for more doomed Aradia bots than anything else, which was sort of a silver lining, I guess. I don't think we would have beaten the king without her army. Not that it matters anymore. I've obviously just become another guy in a doomed timeline watching everything around him die. I was just sitting here wondering what I could have done wrong this time, to make the timeline take a wrong turn, and pinpointing it seemed overwhelming since I made more terrible decisions than I can even count. But I think, looking back, I know what it is now. It was before we got trapped on this meteor, before Jack showed up, before we beat the king, and I wanted to let you know, Jade, that no matter what I said, I think the final frog must be important. And Kanaya, if you're reading this somewhere in the past, maybe, I'm sorry, you were right. I was always in such a hurry to win, I didn't take the time to do what was necessary. Bilious Slick needed the genes of that frog, and because I half-assed this so bad, everyone is gonna die. See, I was thinking about Jack and how he can't stand frogs. I think I finally understand what's going on. I think I know what's about to happen at the end of our timelines. I think I know what the critical moment is, and it's completely my fault. Ectobiology is a touchy thing. Especially when you're building the genetic code for an entire universe. Our Genesis frog needed the genes from that final frog. But because I was in too much of a hurry to do the job right, he's missing a critical sequence in his DNA. So when we made him and watched him grow in the middle of Skya, and after all the fireworks and fanfare from the vast croak had subsided, I kind of felt like he didn't look so good. Like he was sick. I think I gave him cancer. I gave your whole universe cancer, Jade. Sorry.
more.
Okay, well, this is nothing.
Yeah, that is nothing.
What did I say? I have repeatedly made it clear that the fifth wall is to remain off. I refuse to acknowledge this foolish man's self-indulgent rubbish. His frivolous charades have no place in this building, or anywhere else in this reality. Am I making myself understood, young lady? Its defective genes probably made it impossible for your session to be successful, sort of like its reproductive system was damaged. What should be fertile ground for your new universe to grow was replaced by a massive bomb rigged to blow up your whole session. Probably just one of many symptoms of a sick universe. It's not like you actually did anything wrong. You were fighting against the disease that was always inherent in your reality, the one I gave it. But I don't think it's like a normal disease, not like a cellular mutation that's out of control. The cancer took a specific form, like a complicated series of terrible events rather than faulty cell division. It was an eventuality in your universe that was inevitable, that we all unwittingly helped to make happen, all concentrated through the actions of one hostile agent in the system with an instinct to destroy everything it hated, and then given the power to do so. And unlike a normal disease, it wouldn't gradually kill its host from within. The cancer left the body, chased out as if by an immune system. But the problem is, it wasn't any less deadly on the outside, and no less determined to finish the job. So I don't know what else it could be, what's waiting for us at the end of the countdown. Jack was expelled from your session somehow. He then methodically destroyed all our planets, Prospect and Durst, and tried to wipe us all out, so that we couldn't do the same thing to him again. But he was always saving his true target for last, the one he hated most. Jack was the living embodiment of the disease all along. Noir is the cancer. It's him. Anyway, that's the end of how everything's my fault completely and I'm garbage. Hope you enjoyed it, Jade. Not that you seem to recall this memo even exists. If you see Kanai in Death Bubble Hell, please tell her I'm sorry I let her down. If you see Solix wandering around too, let him know how ashamed I am I ditched him like a coward because I heard a horn go honk. And Terezi, if you see her, could you give her a message for me? Tell her that... Actually, never mind. I'll probably be able to tell them all in person soon, seeing as an idiot in makeup is about to roll over my naked squeal pipette with a one-wheel device.
Felix is okay. He's with me right now.
Holy shit, you're alive!
Hold on, I really need to change these clothes.
It's all your fault.
Huh?
It's all your motherfucking fault, punk.
Okay.
You all cracked off the top of that bottle of those fucking clown imposters that all were spraying out the flagrant motherfucking heresies at me. The flagrant motherfucker fucking heresies, motherfucker, is what came out from their mouths. It made me get my sadness to see it, and my rage fucking harder.
I'm sorry.
All my life, okay.
Here.
I can't do the voice right now. It doesn't like me today. All my life, I believed I had a fucking paradise to come. What held most baller, darkest carnivals to join, and a prophecy. Tell all about a band of rowdy and capricious minstrels stepped in the good, harsh whimsy. The mirthful messiahs were foretold to be crashing that fucking pie stand and bring a holy ruckus. Like a giddy fucking ninja, one-wheeling ahead along with the head-first being horn-heaped Shangri-La got to see. I'm talking about the vast honk, you blasphemous motherfucker. What I believe in it to be was so beautiful. Us and them all mellowing intense sounds, tossing back the Fago and soaking the miracles up our faith sponge it. While the special stardust rained down at our lips of sticky face. Like a bunch of fucking fairy powder from religion space. It's going to be us and motherfucking them and motherfucking us.
This is like some trolling shtick, right? This ICP shit.
But now, because of all you and your fucking outrageousness, you stole up all my miracles away by revealing to me how the wicked shit was really kicked. But some filthy fucking scientist who at old times would be ruled unfunny without even getting his fucking trial on. and now I don't know what to think about the spiritual fantasies I had. Honk.
Best troll ever. I don't care if you're really into this stuff or not, it's awesome.
What stuff?
Like horrorcore, lame clown rap and stuff. Dude, are you an actual juggalo or not?
Bro, that word you used isn't nothing real I've heard of. It strikes at me as another heretical fucking bastardization of some sacred shit I take serious in my plumping biscuit. Or pump biscuit, whatever. I mean, I guess took seriously.
Do you really not know what I'm talking about?
I have the idea that you put in my pan to sit there, that the paradise planet is a fucking joke. And the miracles are fake, pure fiction, falsely fakey, fraudy con joss from a bunch of unfunny Ninja Harlequin bullshit artists.
I can't even tell if you're trying to troll me with this, if you're actually having some weird emotional problem.
Can't it be motherfucking both things?
Okay, I'm telling you, you need to watch this video. The song isn't even supposed to be released for another year or something, but I got it from an inside source. This is as hot as it gets. Hang on, let me dig it up.
You're not like that.
Yeah.
No. Motherfuck, no, bro. I'm not looking on any more of your blasphemies. Really just came back on you to motherfucking say that while the sickening noises you did at me is your fault. There's something I did at you what's mine. I did something that's motherfucking atrocious to your posse. Made your whole crew of jokers get to being kind of mentally motherfucking unstable. In fucking fact, the atrocious business I got to doing, I did that shit to your whole universe as a matter of motherfucking fact. See, you motherfucking see, I finally got all caught up in what's true behind that sweet murder mirth of the bitchin' blood circus. I reached deep down and got where all the real harsh whimsies were hiding inside. In the angriest ways I found up my dark ancestral chuckadoos within. And then I focused on the thought, the rage you made me have, and I went and made your universe. Terminal.
None of that really meant anything, but okay. Also, you had me confused for somebody else. We never talked. I guarantee I would have remembered you.
All that motherfucking matters is I remember you and what you did. I'm just all letting you in on the ways I set the high justice in motion. Made us motherfucking square, you and me and you.
That's cool. Juggalo guy who I still can't quite tell is ironic about this or not. But like I said, either way, it's all good.
You don't motherfucking believe you need to get more spiritually into your superstition, ghost. Like the motherfucking faith chump that what I was. As if I'd forget to do any chuckle doos to you too. To fuck up your dreams, make your worst fears come alive, and get up on their haunts in your unhappy pan.
What? What fears?
You motherfucking know, brother. It's the fucking puppet. The one that's all got to be my best fucking friend I got now that my other buddy managed to be having his head chopped off.
Oh god. Did my bro put you up to this? I should have guessed he might have a hand in some of these shitty trolling escapades.
Your bro's dead, bro. Couldn't keep my new friend captive no more. Released your nightmares right into my warm fucking embrace. And now I listen at what they whisper through my ear ducts.
Jesus, you're fucking insane.
I'm all hearing their amazing motherfucking things. I think he'll help me refigure out what's the real reality about the miracles. He'll help me to motherfucking discover the truth of who the messiahs are. The real messiahs, not the false mess of lies. Punk.
So, my bro's idiotic ventriloquist dummy is responsible for this asinine bullshit. Is that what you're saying?
Motherfucker, yes, bro.
What else does he say?
He says, all in this funny little voice, it is so very, 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 very quiet that it's time to go motherfucking kill them all.
Well, that sounds about right. Better do what he says, dude.
Yeah. Here I was to come at you with all these unruly unbraids I got pent up. When you know motherfucking what? I should be getting grateful to you for sharing at me your wit, brittle heresies, brother. The road to the Dark Carnival has never before been paved with louder honk horns to tread upon and scare the living motherfuck out of the low blood faithless with each step.
You are either literally a soulless murderer or some kind of trolling savant. Time to block you now, but let's do this again, okay?
You fucking know it, bro. I like you. Wouldn't mind taking the pale marshmallow you got as a nudge bone off your shoulders. For this collection, I got started on. And a little is that strawberry jam to this peanut butter sandwich I'm making between my motherfucking lips.
Holy shit.
Hey, before you go, how about that we glam a little?
They both then proceeded to have one of the best rap-offs in the history of Paradox Space.
God.
Good thing we don't have to read it.
Thank goodness. Please,
Yeah,
no more multi-page.
Or will I have to suspend your furniture privileges again? I see. It's another one of your moods. We will have to work on ironing out this behavior before you meet your true master. He's a far less gracious host than I. Wait, what are you doing? No, stop that. You render yourself in a more symbolic manner this instant. Thank you. Oh, this is what we're doing now. Maybe I've not been strict enough with your breathing privileges either. This vessel will reach your planet eventually. We could either go home the fast way or the slow way. Your express ticket can only be validated with a display of good manners, miss. And there go the electricity privileges. I think now would be a good time for another round of re-education regarding her purpose, a little refresher on the prestigious employment opportunity for which she is being groomed. And since you are still my guest, it would please me to tell you this inspiring tale as well. It is a tale to remind her of the sacrifice she must make, one serving to remind all of her people of the sacrifice once made by long-forgotten heroes in a discarded reality. It is of this sacrifice the sufferer died to speak the truth, and it is in his tale I will tell you now. Once in this very universe, you could say, Alternia was home to a peaceful race. Trollkind had never known the corrupting influence in their evolution which led them to perpetual war and violence. That is to say, they had never known me. As was true of the bellicose world we know, there came to be 12 heroes on this peaceful planet. These heroes too had 12 ancestors, whose fortunes were entwined with theirs. These heroes too had... These 24 figures of legend were not of this world, but sent from the sky, delivered from a reality not yet conceived. On the eve of their race's extinction, the 12 heroes would begin playing a game. They would make an admirable effort, but they would fail. Their civilization had not prepared them for the rigors of this game, and the ultimate reward would fall shy of their grasp. But their failure was more comprehensive, more systemic, than a result of simple inadequacy so common to young players of this game. Though they could not recognize it for the bad omen it was, this session was not the one in which they had been spawned, such as the system of a subtle glitch affecting certain sessions, an error designed to trigger an unfathomable cascade of misfortune throughout Paradox Space. This glitch is the calling card of the one I serve. It is the discreet, gentlemanly manner in which he reserves his place in a universe for later visitation. The heroes, understanding their defeat was absolute, sought advice from the mother of all monsters. She offered them a choice. The heroes could either accept their defeat along with the extinction of their race and put no others at risk, or She could show them a path to a second chance, to a reality in which the chosen heroes of their race would be strong enough to succeed with ease and claim the reward. This reset would come at the cost of wiping the failed heroes from existence. They would live new lives from scratch, playing different roles in the reset reality with no memory of the game they played or the choice they made. The heroes chose to accept this bargain and scratched their session. In doing so, they jump-started the reality in which the 24 figures of legend would together be created, and I as well, and then sent back in time to take our places in history. Though I was delivered well before history even began, before the dawning of life on their planet. This time around, I would oversee its development, and thus fulfill the mother's promise of an aggressive, ruthlessly prepared group of heroes, one that would not rest until victory was secured. The young 24 would again be scattered in 2 groups, 12 modern contemporaries and 12 ancients. But in addition to losing their memories of everything that happened before the scratch, there was another catch for the failed heroes. In the new reality, they would not serve as the heroes. They would mature to become the ancestors of the 12 they formerly recognized as theirs, and this 12 would be chosen for glory. These children would be the heroes to achieve victory and have the reward easily within reach. Of course, this promise was fulfilled to the letter, as you have seen. The entire bargain was executed without a single hitch, as those authorized by my master always are. There was, however, one minor anomaly. One of the failed heroes in his new life as an ancient on this now brutal planet began to remember. This is his story. This is the story of the Signless. Few ever knew the sufferer's given name, presuming quite reasonably he had none, and he came to be called Signless. Unlike his peers distributed elsewhere in history, he was not given a sign at a young age. Alas, there were no signs reserved for one of his mutant blood. His genetic deviation from the social order made him a pariah, forcing him to wander the world alone for many sweeps, concealing the color of his blood to avoid certain execution. But it may also have been due to his mutation that he began to have the visions, spontaneous lucid imagery of his world in peace before its fall. He would never see the complete picture, or fully understand his previous incarnation's role in prompting this fall, or know of my hand in it. But the visions showed him all he needed to see. They held the promise of his people's true potential. Beneath the ages of conditioned cruelty, they held the spark of revolution. In time, the visions gave purpose to his travels. He would preach heretical ideals no one else had dared to entertain, let alone risk discussing. He espoused the virtues of forgiveness, compassion, and equality among all bloodlines. He distributed his message intelligently, careful to preach only to those receptive, never attracting unwelcome attention. But his growing movement could go unnoticed by the authorities for only so long. The Highbloods were livid over the unprecedented heresy, and soon a massive sectarian war followed, spreading across the planet and throughout the galaxy. The conflict was lopsided, of course, with the Highbloods given full support from the Condis and her Sea Dwellers. Inevitably, the Signless would be captured, and when he was, it was not a matter of whether he would be put to the irons, but how hot they would be if he failed to recant. During his penance, it was said the sufferer's compassion for his people underwent a divine transformation into limitless, burning rage. It burned hotter than the irons shackling him to the imperial flogging jet, and redder than the blood soaking his righteous leggings. When he was finally killed, his anger rung through the cosmos with his last breath. This vast expletive was his final sermon, and somewhere encoded in its wavelengths was the truth in his teaching, waiting to reveal itself to any who would inherit his burden. His teachings would also persist through surviving disciples, but in hushed tones. His following would dwindle to an obscure cult facing persecution for centuries. After his execution, the body was burned, leaving only his irons. They cooled in the ash, as if his anger itself was subsiding, and his followers appropriated their shapes in defiance of the Highbloods. The symbols became the sign of the Signless, always shown as colorless as the cold iron, to conceal the stigma of his hue. This was as much a reminder to his followers to remain hidden as it was of the sufferer's sacrifice, and his rage hidden like heat in the iron, one day to be reignited by another of his bloodline. The sufferer preached that after he passed, another Signless would come, heralding the end times for their planet. The second Signless would continue his work and lead his people to glory beyond this realm. The followers kept his teachings alive for ages, even as the uproar surrounding the movement subsided. By modern times, the sufferer's scripture was little more than ancient superstition, all but forgotten. Hardly the anathema of old. But the followers had already made their preparations in the shadows, and when the second Signless finally came, he would have a Lucis to raise him and assign to his name. The sufferer required a less conventional upbringing to reach maturity. As a young grub, he landed in the brooding caverns where he would be expected to face his trials, but due to his mutation, surely no Lucis would select him. No creature sympathetic to his scent had been bred yet. His odds for survival would have been remote, if not for a chance encounter. The Dolorosa belonged to the rare class assigned strictly to serving the mother grub in the caverns, forbidden from visiting the surface. While on an errand, she found the young sufferer in his crater and immediately recognized the child as special, as well as in great danger. For an adult troll to raise a child was unthinkable, but she saw no other hope for him. The Dolorosa abandoned her duties in the caverns and fled to the surface to raise him. In time, she would become the first follower of his teachings, and the first of his inner circle, but not his closest. Surrounding him in his rise to infamy and throughout the rebellion were the most trusted elites among his devoted. The Psionic was a mage of unequaled telekinetic ability, who upon hearing the words of the sufferer was inspired to free himself from the sort of slavery typical of his mentally gifted class. But his most devoted of all was his disciple. She listened to every vision he wrote, every lesson he preached, and faithfully recorded his scripture. Her ear was open to him always, and in time his heart opened to her. To spread his message throughout the world, they took to the seas in the vessel of legend known as the First Ship. It was said their love went beyond the four quadrants, transcending the grid entirely, whatever that nonsense actually means. The disciple was to be killed along with him, but at the last moment, the executor inexplicably took pity on her and allowed her to escape. She absconded with the leggings, which remained the only physical evidence of his holy suffering. She hid in caves for many sweeps, transcribing all of his scripture from memory on the walls in the blood of slain creatures, and lived the rest of her days in monastic savagery. Her dedication would be critical to the persistence of his message. But the Dolorosa was less fortunate and was sold into slavery. She spent the rest of her life as property of vicious sea dwellers. As for the Psionic, he was enlisted in a far worse, if more prestigious service. He was forced to serve as the helmsman for Her Condescension's Imperial battleship. Psychics of his kind were exploited for interstellar travel, and his abilities made her ship the fastest in the fleet by far. She grew so enamored of her helmsman and his power, she would use her touch to extend his lifespan to match her own. Together, they explored the stars for thousands of years. Due to the speed of her ship, she would personally expand the boundaries of her empire, typically being the first to greet new races before conquering them. After making the first contact, occasions which she generally kept cordial, she would move on to new territory while a division of her fleet set a course for the unfortunate civilization and proceeded to tear it apart. It could be any of the lethal brigades under her command to receive the orders, be it the Threshicutioners, Cavalry Reapers, Assassins, or Ruffian Annihilators. Each was notoriously cruel in its own way, and each carried out orders with absolute loyalty. Because while the Condis could extend a single life on her whim, she could just as casually cut short that of millions. If angered, she could simply express her grievance through communion with her ancient Lucis of the Deep and turn its psychic devastation on her multitudes. The class hierarchy played into her hands politically in this respect. Killing off a haphazard swath of the population, or an entire class, was suitable as a measure of last resort, but mass extermination does not lend itself well to practical governance. Its looming threat, however, is quite effective. Especially while her empire was partitioned neatly into blood castes. She could use her leverage to delegate oppression to the subjugulators, whose unique abilities and exceptional brutality made them natural enforcers. They too would delegate in their governance, exploiting the pride and loyalty of the dangerous blue bloods beneath them, and so on down the hemospectrum, until the enslavement of the common castes was inescapable, in spite of their genetic gifts and strength in numbers. As a self-governing body, the land-dwelling portion of her empire was formidable. But her force of sea dwellers was equally formidable, and the two were kept in check not only with the threat of psychic annihilation, but their mutual hatred and distrust. The only threat to her power was unification through uprising, a possibility made remote once she fully decentralized the race from the homeworld. She scattered all but the children throughout the galaxy after the most recent rebellion led by the Summoner. Upon doing so, she became so comfortable with her grip on power she risked venturing deeper into space than ever before to grow her empire. But the more space she put between herself and Glub Glub, the more she risked weakening her bond with the monster. The bond she and her successor shared with it exclusively could sway, and became strengthened with the younger. Perhaps she grew complacent with the threat successors posed, after such a long history of killing them with ease. Heiresses upon reaching maturity were expected to challenge the Condis for the throne. It was not merely expected of them by their people, but demanded by their shared Lucis. I like to think of her as the pet I gave to their race at the dawning of their species evolution, like a sentient swarming gift. Again, it's just the sort of thing a good host does. If the lapse in her custodial bond was significant enough, it was not just political power she risked. At such a distance, she sacrificed concentration needed to curb its most dreadful psychic shriek of all, the galaxy-wide extinction event called the Vast Glub. Of course, this eventually proved a fitting reward for such reckless expansion of her territory. She chose the worst time possible to explore further from the homeworld than she'd ever been. She was scouring the edge of the galaxy for systems to plunder when she received word of her planet's devastation by meteors. The young were being slaughtered. The mother grub was dead. The end times were upon her people. She ordered all fleets to return to Alternia, but such was her empire's expansion and interplanetary occupation, few could make it in time to provide any meaningful defense. She instructed her helmsman to pilot the ship faster than he ever had, and he did so through extreme physical duress. He was able to leap across thousands of light years in a matter of hours. The exertion likely would have killed him if the glub didn't get to him first. Her touch could extend life, but never restore it, to her lament. In that instant, her empire was gone. Glub Glub's swan song wiped out her entire race, save the Condesce and her lone heiress, leaving the Empire nothing more than a galactic necropolis of floating tombs. She was forced to continue the journey home on auxiliary power. Her ship now travels near the speed of light, a pale shadow of its former velocity. It would take her another 612 solar sweeps after the Glub to reach her destination. She should arrive any minute now. When she does, she will find nothing but ruins and dust. If she cared to look closer, she would find a city of slain exiles, a man on the moon, and a pair of black lovers engaged in a deadly dance. But whether she looks or not, one thing will find her with certainty: a new employment opportunity. Are you paying attention, protege? This is where your role in the story begins. Now stop your pouting and listen, unless you want another helping to the backside of my... Oh, nuts, I seem to have forgotten my discipline broom. Anyway, the last of the 12 ancestors arrived a bit late. In fact, she would cross through her portal 6 centuries after the descendants had come and gone. There weren't many left to look after her, so she ended up in foster care. I remember it like it was yesterday, and for one who has as much time on his hands as I, it essentially was. I would raise the girl to be groomed for her calling. My lesson would emphasize obedience, mastery of the clockwork magics, and being locked in a room. As you must have gathered by now, my employer will enter this universe quite soon. I will then relinquish my custody to him, and she will serve as his handmaid for an eternity to be specified. As you must have also gathered, she has already done so. Though her most common of blood should have let her expire in just a dozen or two sweeps, his curse kept her very much alive. And she did not intend to stay that way. His curse is one of conditional mortality, with the desired outcome contingent on her service. When I release her, she will take her place at his side and travel through time to carry out his orders. While I am his weapon of subtlety and precision, the handmaid is strictly an apparatus of terror and suffering. We have both paved the road to his arrival, I in my way and she in hers. She would be present during every watershed moment in her civilization's development. Her recurrence in history would earn her the reputation of a demoness, more feared than even her master, a man though dreadful rarely makes himself seen. She stirred up class warfare and intensified bigotry in whatever era she haunted. She made sure the descendants would enter a world which prepared them well for the game and took measures to see that they would play as they did. But once they entered and the world was in ashes, her work was nearly complete. Now 6 centuries later, she would be given one last order to follow before her curse was lifted. A simple recruitment job. The handmaid will enlist to the Condesce, extending the same bargain once offered to her. It will be the sort involving neither negotiation nor possibility of refusal, expressed in terms plainly understood by the soulless genocidal. The Condesce will serve as their new master's witch, carrying out his work in the places he cannot reach. The two last trolls alive, blood of rust and royalty, will make each other pay for their crimes against their race. Their payment will be mutually dealt in the currency of punishment and reward at once. The Condesce will be rewarded with the power and immortality her new service entails, and punished by the grueling slavery for which it is synonymous. And you, young lady, are to be punished by death at the hands of your replacement. And so too will this be your reward. And so, my dear, that is the inspiring tale of your people, and why you should feel rather privileged to be in the position for which I have groomed you meticulously. Are you not grateful? Yes, surely you are, and it warms the soft, fluffy material in my chest to know this. What is it? What are you looking at over there? Ah, of course, the clock. I can see you have a good eye for a fine timepiece. Your exemplary taste is certainly owed, to a quality upbringing. Perhaps you wish to know the history of the clock and how I came to possess it? Yes, I can see the sparkle of curiosity in your eye. It's a marvelous tale, one almost as long as it is verbosely told. Where do I even begin? Story time's over, windbag! Whoops, oh shit, get this fucking clock out of my way! I'm a one-man stampede, I got a broom, and that peelless splintering wood you hear is the last gasp of a priceless antique disintegrating beneath the outrageous fury of my authorial hooves. If I have to put up with one more smug, meandering interlude in my own story, I'm going to crack your head open and serve you a heaping bowl full of your own Donnie's soft puppet ass. How do you like that for hospitality, Doc? I believe you find that as hosts go, I am simply the best there is. See, even that little girl has had enough of your shit. Run, Aradia's ancestor, run! You've locked up your last Asian schoolgirl, you sick fuck. Oh, don't you flop around at me like that. Are you listening, little man? Booyah? Huh. I guess he is just a limp, lifeless puppet when I'm around, like a reverse Calvin and Hobbes kind of thing. That is a little disturbing. Oh well, might as well try to get that disc back. Wonder if I could just sort of reach up into and... What the hell? Looks like he's had the disc repaired for a while already, but didn't tell us. Motherfucker just loves the sound of his own voice. Stop. Fuck, no, you're snapping wrong. Unsnap. Insert disc 2.
Tired. How close are we?
We're pretty close.
Did Raven fall asleep at her desk?
God, I hope not. Hello? Okay, cool.
Okay.
Attempt rare and highly dangerous 5 times showdown combo.
Anthony's just like tired of it. What?
And they were Moirails. And the Knight of Blood so embraced the Bard of Rage, and in each other's arms they were a quiver, and with righteous pap and blessed shush he did quell his brother's fury. For the knight looked upon his bard all acting up and completely losing his shit, and he did resolve to calmeth his juggalo ass right the fuck down. And so calmed down his juggalo ass was, and would continueth to be for all time. And the knight, in totally settling a murderous clown's ludicrous shit down proper, said, "Let there be Moira allegiance," and it was so. And between Moirails would flow bounteous mirth, and they did hug bumpeth plentifully, and the honks of reconciliation echoed far and true into the darkness upon the face of the deep. A.H. closed tome. And it was good. Recap 4. No, fuck this!
Oh, no.
No. God, no.
No more.
The password is, see you soon, okay? I'm gonna take your lack of response as tacit verification. Also, this pretty much has to be the last conversation we have, right? Your timeline cuts out completely in a minute or two because of the scratch. What are you looking at up there? You hypnotized by the flashy shit? What the fuck? That's been going on ever since John started scratching that big goddamn record. Aren't you acclimated to it by now? Hello? Harley, cheekiest mother of screaming fuck. Whatever, I have shit to do now. I guess you should be keeping an eye in the sky too, now that I think about it. The bright green beacon should be appearing any minute, assuming you actually manage to blow up the sun. And then, well, then I guess maybe we'll all get to hang out, while maybe also not being in unyielding mortal peril? It's getting kinda old, frankly. Okay, well, this is a pretty crappy farewell, but I guess it'll have to do since there's some seriously show-stopping shit transpiring up there in fucking outer space. Later, Jade, I'm gonna go make sure John knows what the hell he's supposed to be doing. In case none of this works and we don't actually get to meet, I guess I should say, since apparently my gutless future self can't express himself and never got around to saying so, thus leaving it up to me, as usual, to say that...
Oh, sorry, I was distracted.
Oh,
No, not by all the scratchy stuff in the sky. There's something coming down.
what?
It's hard to make out, but I think it might be
What?
shaving cream? Oh no.
What the hell is shaving cream?
It's like, hey, Croquette? They should. Okay, how about check C4 to that for a second?
No, the tadpole.
No,
No.
not into the lava. Oh, poor Jade.
He's like, I did it.
I did the thing.
Look, Jack, you asked me to kill her, right? Cascade.
Let's go.
It's
time.
It's expanding.
Oh no!
Oh my gosh, that is really cool.
God, this one must have gotten really fucked up by the on the real website.
Oh yeah, I could not imagine how it'd be on here. On the real website. This looks so cool.
No.
This music is so good. It's about every animation, but this one in particular. AR has really buff legs.
He's got to run fast to catch those criminals. Telling me the king was in there the entire time?
That's where he went.
Does he now feel bad for killing Jade?
I mean, remember, he didn't kill her. It was CD.
Oh, right.
Wait,
Oh, he's...
her dream self's technically not dead.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. Technically, her dream self is still alive, just as a sprite.
Excuse me,
Jack
the
did it.
fuck?
So Jack exiled himself?
He hid himself in the stupid flower.
Oh god, oh, this isn't good. Yeah, no.
AR!
AR.
No. Oh no.
WV!
No, not WV, no!
No!
Please, no! No, not AR, no! Don't do it, man. Don't kill the boy, no! No.
He got the uranium! Kind of putting into context everything that's happened already.
Pouring out for WV and AR. Gone too soon.
Honestly, just pour one out for everyone, because everyone's dead at this point, I feel
And
like.
we just found out they're dead.
Speaking of dead, there's DD. Who cares about the Draconian Dignitary? He's
I only
not
care about
cool in
Diamond
that
Screw.
form.
Diamond Screw's cool. Hashtag not my DD. Put it in the comments.
Get in the comments! More like quest mattresses, really.
This is so cool.
I mean, if the universe is about to die anyway.
Get your revenge. Oh, this is so cool.
I just want to know how much time it took to make this.
Probably a while.
With how creative they're getting with the angles stuff, it's definitely took a while. I love the cinematography for this. It's really good.
Hummingbirds. Do you guys know Raven's scared of birds?
I did not know
Really?
that.
And I think she's asleep, so she can't defend herself.
Exactly. The funny part is, she's named after her bird. Wow.
To be honest, I thought they were fairies. Up close now. We can't.
Skya, no!
The reckoning.
I heard her mic turn on for half a second.
Yeah.
What an amazing animation.
So
I've totally
good.
seen I've totally seen all of it, and not only just Dave and Dave, Sprite, and Jade.
Definitely did not just wake up.
Pouring out for AR and WV. Too good. I missed them already. Best characters.
I miss.
You missed a lot.
Yeah,
I thought you.
yeah.
I thought you would have already seen this.
well, time to rewatch. Not tonight though. Some other time.
Some other
I
time,
enjoyed
indeed.
When we bring back for the end of for next year's 413, and we're gonna rewatch it all with London.
Oh, this is absolutely going on that list. Are you kidding me?
Honestly, we should just reread it with London this time.
PM.
Yeah.
What does that happen? What happens?
Help! Jade's doing weird space bullshit.
All 5 powers put together.
Dude, this is so cool.
This is very cool.
I've been waiting for Furry PM to show up.
Welcome to Windows 24.
And
Windows
on and
413.
on and on and on. End of Act 5.
That was a good animation, but I killed WV, so 0 out of 10. Would not recommend.
Honestly, I just wouldn't recommend reading Homestuck like we are.
True. True and real.
That- True and real. Oh, that was so good.
Yeah, well,
Mhm.
we're all tired. I think we could all go to bed.
Hey,
Mhm.
everybody. Like, comment, subscribe.
Don't forget to hit the
Yippee.
notification bell to be notified every time we upload.
In the comments, hashtag not my DD. I don't know, constantly have hashtag not my DD.
Hey, finally, it's been
Hashtag
like 4
PM
episodes.
furry PM.
Hashtag free Jade.
Anyway,
Well, that's just Jade.
True.
I think it's where we call it for the night. So
Obviously,
Bye-bye.
there was a lot,
see
and
ya.
it was and